questions to ask throughout a campaign with the confidence rising. I told JC, Nate and Rich that good times are coming, no need for deep diving. Van Cam's reactions, watch alongs to the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South stay flying, keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Hello and welcome back to episode 11 of Transfer Weekly. After this episode today, we've only got one more episode of Transfer Weekly in this summer window, so hit that like, because there's only a few left to come. Maybe I'll convince Rich if we could do a deadline day stream, we'll see what happens. But in this episode today, we've got 4 potential signings for Crystal Palace, and we've got a thing about an owner. What has he done? But let's get straight into this one. Sami Mokbel is a publisher in the Daily Mail on the 18th of August. He produced an article, and the title of the article reads like this: Crystal Palace co-owner Josh Harris is involved with the American private equity firm Apollo, which is in exclusive talks to buy a stake in Manchester United. Josh has wanted out of Palace for a while now. It's very common knowledge that he's wanted to leave. He's wanted to get a stake in a bigger club. He's tried it with Chelsea. Looks like he's trying it with Man United right now. And the stake that he holds, we already know that Textor wants that stake. And Textor is just holding out, because the more and more desperate that Josh gets, the lower and lower the price is going to be for Textor to buy his share. Obviously, good business. He's just dragging it out to see how cheap he can get it for. And listen, I'm all for it. Textor's doing good for us. He hasn't done us wrong as of yet. We've met him. Check out that video up here, I believe. If not, I'm going to get memed. But, honestly, I think we need to try and remove as many deadweight owners as possible. I think most of the Americans, apart from Textor, are a bit useless. They got the Yanks, they got this, they got that, they got money. They just don't spend it. I think they wanted to buy us because they thought it would just be income and they wouldn't have to shell out that much. But it is what it is. We tried to make money moves and it didn't work out, unfortunately. I think if he's going through all these loopholes of owning a different company and then trying to buy a stake in Man United that way so you can own 2 clubs, but you can't do it like that, I think we should just seek that legal advice and try and force him out instead. I think that Parish and Textor could join together and get the legal advice to maybe push him out, because he's trying so hard to get himself away from Crystal Palace and to own another team. But you know, if you don't want to own us, goodbye, my friend. Like, I don't know how much money you've put in, but it's probably not as much as Parish. And if Textor's slapped in 70 million straight away, that's more money than this guy's probably ever put in the club. And Textor's only owned us for a year. This guy's owned us for how many years? Please, man. Anyway, back to some actual football players now. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, very heavily linked with a return to Selhurst Park this year. He's known to be a very, 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 very cut price from the 50 million that we sold him to Man United for in 2019 summer window. The Evening Standard sort of rumour him to be about £10 million or a loan deal. The loan deal is much more preferred for Man United, because I don't think they want to take a 40 million loss on Wan-Bissaka after only owning him for about 3 years. But I think it's a brilliant idea, mate. I'm taking him all the way. He's better than what we got. He'll fit in. He's an amazing right back, and he'll get his confidence back and be that £50 million player once again. And think about this. How Crystal Palace is it that we sell Wan-Bissaka, we build a massive Grade A academy, probably one of the best in the country, with Wan-Bissaka's money, and then the replacement for Wan-Bissaka is Wan-Bissaka. So he'll come back and he'll see what his money has improved the club, how it's done everything, and we'll make a £40 million net profit. We get him back for £10 million. Like, tell me how this is a bad deal, please. Someone, I see people saying no. Please tell me how this is a bad deal. It's only a positive. We sold this guy for £50 million, and we get him back for 10 mil. That's 40 million net. Come on, man. How are you saying it's not a good idea? On to a player which Palace has not previously owned, Antoine Semenyo. Yep. The 22-year-old striker from Ghana, which currently plays for Bristol City. The 5'8" striker is very, very versatile in how he can play in the forward line. He can play left wing, right wing, but he mostly plays in the striker position. Showing in the heat map, and I'll let you have a look at it quickly. He's very comfortable moving around the pitch. He seems to be everywhere in the attacking third. He does like to drop very deep, and when watching a couple of matches of his, for example, I watched the whole game, and I can't remember which other one I watched, but he was very confident, very comfortable, and he looked like a real good player. He would very happily drop deep, pick up the ball, turn, start dribbling forwards, do a couple nice skills, pass off 1-2s, set up another guy for an attack. Very, very, very impressive from a young lad. He's very good at developing things. He's a very creative player. For a striker, I thought that his passing was one of his main attributes. Bear in mind, he's a striker, and shooting should be his main attribute. But, you know, it is what it is. And listen, if passing's your thing, mate, and you're good at it, keep going. In the Championship last year, he had 24 starts in 31 total appearances, scoring 8 goals and 12 assists. Mate, a striker which is 22 years old having 20 goal contributions in the Championship. I think 2.3 shots per game, 1.1 key passes per game, and about 1 tackle per 90 as well. Listen, defensive abilities are there. The forward capabilities are there. The assisting capabilities are there. He is what we need. He is the guy that is that slightly different edge to AOUAR and Mateta. He's very short, very fast, very skillful. His shooting's questionable right now, but, you know, the stats don't lie. I have seen him sky a few, but it is what it is when you're a young player. And we seem to have initiated an initial bid of 9 million, which has been rejected. We're projected to up that to about 12 to 15 million to secure his signature. Put in the comments what you guys think about this transfer below in a scale of 1 to 10. Because me personally, 10 out of 10, mate. 10 out of 10. Striker offers something different. He fits the profile, and I can't see many negatives here. He's played 4 consecutive years in the Championship and played a majority of games, so I think he's physically ready and mentally ready for the Premier League. And remember, guys, he's only 22, so to have that much experience for a young lad is very impressive. Next player out of the 4, the 24-year-old Senegalese winger, which currently plays for Watford. You guessed it, Ismaila Sarr.
Pronounced Ismaila Sarr.
Oh yeah, the winger we have been chasing for a couple of years now. We're back in again. We are back again. And, however, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling to see why we're looking at him right now, because we've got Elise, we've got Ebioe,
Malcolm Ebioe,
and we've got Ayew. So why do we need Sarr as well? Sarr is a right winger with a very good left foot, and he mostly plays on the right wing. He has played for Watford up front and on the right wing mainly. However, he has started to develop his game in the sense that he started to play a little bit more left wing, and he's sort of working on it because Watford had a very, very, very tough time with how they were playing last year in the Premier League, because they sort of struggled on the left wing department, and they filled in João Pedro in the right wing department just to balance it out, because Sarr had more winger attributes than João Pedro, because João Pedro is more of a striker. I don't see what the reason is behind this, if I'm really honest. Doesn't play much on the left wing. I think it's interesting because I think there's 2 reasons on why we're getting him. Number 1 is Vieira sees Zaha as this club's future number 9. Put in the comments what you guys think about that. Number 2, Sarr will be backing up Zaha Zaha's on his way out, and he's going to replace him in the left wing. I don't think this is a good idea, because apparently we've had a £22 million bid rejected, and sources say that if we want him, we're going to have to spend a club record fee, and for a guy like Ismaila Sarr, it is not worth to break our record transfer fee on a guy like him. I'm not saying he's not a good player, and I'm not saying he's not worth it, but to us, he's not worth a club record fee right now, because if anything, we've got lots of cover in that position, not particularly the left wing, but I'm sure Ayew can come over, I'm sure Ebioe can come over, and I'm very sure that Elise can come over. Also, Eze, for QPR, he played left wing pretty much all season, and look what he did. He smashed up the Championship. So, we've got cover. But, I don't know. I don't see the reason for it right now. Right now, we have a guest. We have a guest from the women of Watford. We've got Kay, and she's here to tell us all about Ismaila Sarr. She's a Watford fan. She's going to know a hell of a lot more than I do. So, here we go.
Hey guys, my name is Kate Lewis. I am a Watford FC fan, trying to see how much Watford paraphernalia I can get into your video apparently. And I'm sitting on the floor. I'm sorry, I'm moving house at the moment, so please excuse the state. But I'm also the founder of Women of Watford FC, which is Watford's female supporters group, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Ismaila Sarr. I'm not great when it comes to talking about the technicalities of players and all the fine, intricate little details, but hopefully you'll get a vibe of what he's like as a player and a person from whatever I end up saying. Ismaila Sarr, the word that I kind of really want to get in here is potential. He has so much potential, and I don't think he has reached it at Watford. That's not been helped by the time that he's been at Watford. You know, it's been a really funny time, okay? One, we've been relegated twice, which is not ideal, but also we've had lockdowns. So I think when I saw Ismaila Sarr at his best was when we beat Liverpool back in 2020. We beat them 3-0 at home, and nobody saw it coming, least of all the Watford fans. And it was Ismaila Sarr on his day. If you get a chance to, I'd really recommend going to watch the highlights, because not only was he brilliant, you know, there was no stopping him, but the smile on his face and the passion that you could see coming out of him when he realised this is what it's like to play Premier League football. This is what it's like to be part of a winning team. This is what it's like to be part of a team. You know, that's something that's really important to us at Watford. The team and the community spirit. You know, we are a family, a very dysfunctional one, but we are a family. So that was really, really nice to see. And so the potential he has is incredible. Even this season, just over a week ago, he scored from his own half. How many players have done that, really? You know, but that game, and so that was against West Brom, just over a week ago. And that was, again, go and watch the highlights. You'll see the best and the worst of Ismaila Sarr. Because yes, he scored that incredible goal, and then he was having a good game, you know, going forward. He wants the ball, he wants another goal, he wants to win. He wins the penalty, he takes the penalty, and it's rubbish. Which not ideal again, but as a fan, I'm prepared to look past it. You've made a mistake, okay, learn from it, move on. But he doesn't do that at the moment, and I don't know if it's potentially a maturity thing, but he is so hard on himself, and what that does is it impacts the rest of the game. And so I think in the end he got subbed off, which was a shame, because it massively knocked his confidence, and you can't have that. You've only got 90 minutes on a pitch. If you make a mistake and that in that second minute, you can't beat yourself up for the other 88 minutes, can you? So hopefully that's something which over time, maturity, a little bit of life experience as well, that will stop holding him back. I think confidence is another thing. So he got injured last season, which really didn't help. He missed a lot of football, and then he missed a lot of football with Watford as well, because he's playing in the African Cup of Nations. So another pro there. He is an international player, and and that's good. You want as many international players for your team as possible, right? You have to be good quality to play for your country. But momentum, there just hasn't been the momentum since he's been at Watford. You know, it's been very stop-start. We've had lockdowns. We've been relegated twice. He's got injured. So he's just never really found his groove. And so perhaps Watford have taken him as far as we can. It would be great to see him playing regular Premier League football. And so I would hope if he was to leave, because he's guaranteed, you know, at least one football match a week at Watford, if not two, because we're in the Championship. If he was to leave, I would like to see him playing regularly. I don't want to see him sitting on a subs bench there as a super sub. Yeah, so he shows moments of good. He's also great, guys, for a fantasy football team name. So if he goes, I'm going to have to change my name from A Sar is Born, but that's fine. I'm prepared to look past it. Yeah, so I've whittled on a little bit too long there, sorry, but his potential is incredible, and if he gets the momentum and gets into his groove, then there's no stopping him, really. And so if you do buy him, look after him, nurture him, be kind. Because I do think he seems like quite a shy guy, again, not aided by the language barrier. So look after him, and if you don't buy him, hopefully we'll thrash you. All the goals from Ismail Assar. Thanks for having me, guys. Great show, and it's always good to catch up with you. Take care.
Thanks a lot, Katie. Her links will be in the description below for the women of Watford. It's very impressive about what they've done and how they're improving the standards of how football is seen by women and getting more women to go to football. I'm sure that they're getting a lot more traction with the success of the women in the Euros. And yeah, go subscribe to them, go comment on their stuff, and go follow them on their social medias. They do great stuff. Back to Sarr now. Last season in the Championship, he had 21 starts and 22 appearances, all season only scoring 5 goals and having 2 assists, with 1.8 shots, 1 key pass, 1.3 possession gained per 90 with a 55% successful dribble rate, showing that he's very competent with the ball at his feet, he's not scared to run at defenders, and very confident, and that's all you need in a winger, really. However, the thing I wanted to mention about this guy is him and his mate Emmanuel Dennis checked out completely. Like at the end of the season, when they saw that Watford were really struggling, and they needed these creative players, their goal scorers, to come in and help them so they wouldn't get relegated from the Premier League again, they checked out. They didn't want to play against anyone outside the top 6, and their attitude stunk. Their mentality absolutely stunk. I wouldn't want a player like him having that kind of mentality in our team. I know if we had him, if Vieira got his hands on him, he'd set him straight, he'll get him fighting for the badge, and he'll get him playing like a proper team player again. However, he's always going to have that old habit in him. He might have a relapse, might have a disagreement with Vieira, and all that training and all that work that Vieira's put into him just goes out the window straight away. 0 out of 10 signing. Genuinely 0 out of 10 signing. I do not see the reason to get Sarr right now, especially for a record fee, and we've got cover. As long as we can, I'd rather put this money into getting Zaha a new contract. Really. I would rather put Zaha on 150 grand a week rather than get this guy. Genuinely, it puts Zaha on like a 3-year deal, 150 grand a week, and that is much better than getting Ismail Assar. Put what you guys think in the comments below. Obviously, it's going to be a little challenge for you guys. I'm going to be checking the comments and seeing all of you guys' ratings for the players that I'm talking about today. Wow,
HOUSSEM AOUAR
is linked with Crystal Palace in this transfer window. The player which was previously quoted for £50 million when certain teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Man United and Real Madrid were all looking for this guy. The 24-year-old French midfielder who currently plays for Lyon is linked with Crystal Palace, and guess why? Because our owner, Mr. John Textor, also owns a great stake in Lyon. This is an incredible reason why to go for this guy. It looks like Forest were in for him. They were the main favourites to go and get him, and it looks like we're going to do the business. We're going to get it done. They've just signed Morgan Gibbs-White for £45 million, and we're looking at AOUAR for £15 million because we can get him cheap. And that reason might be because of Textor. The money from Palace's budget might just go straight into Lyon's budget, and their budget goes up by £15 million. A player of that calibre going for something so cheap, which is quoted by L'Equipe, which states that £15 million is a French blog. They probably know a lot more than I do right now, but he is incredible. He's versatile. He's box to box. He's left wing. He's attacking mid. Look, if Zaha goes up front, he can go out there. If Eze wants to go out there, he can go up, and we can put Will Hughes behind him. We've got so many options. We've got such a strong squad, and I really hope that a transfer like this will really elevate us. It will take us to that next level, to what other teams and other pundits and media outlets are saying, that we're sort of becoming the Borussia Dortmund of the UK. And listen, a signing like this, someone that's young, hungry, and he didn't get his big move, he's going to be trying to push for that big move, going to a bigger league to try and force himself up to stardom. And it's really incredible that he'd want to do that at Palace under Patrick Vieira. I get it, French connections, Vieira's a French legend, and who else would you rather play under, really, if you're a young, exciting player? With 29 starts in 36 appearances in the French league, with 6 goals and 4 assists in the league, 2.1 shots, 1.1 key passes, and 1.3 tackles per 90. Shows all the characteristics of a box-to-box midfielder. Great attacking and great defending abilities. I'm just really excited. I'm really, really, really excited for this guy and how we're linked with him. How are we even linked with him? I wouldn't have even guessed that we're linked with him in this window. He's that good that you'd think someone like Arsenal would pick him up. They need a player like him right now. But they're looking at Telemans. They're not even looking at AOUAR right now. Maybe after we're looking at him, and Dom Field says that it's the £15 million and he is very reputable in the Palace area, maybe, I hope not, but Arsenal might come in because he's a player that they might need. But no, he looks very keen on joining us, and that's a 10 out of 10 signing for me. Yes, guys, that's it for the Transfer Weekly this week. Next week is the last episode of Transfer Weekly, coming out on the Friday. Put in the comments below what your ratings for Wan-Bissaka, Semenyo, Sarr and AOUAR. Bars. Yeah, hopefully, I'll tell you next week, but hopefully there'll be a deadline day stream. And yes, guys, also tell me who you want me to cover. We've only got one episode left, so tell me who you want me to cover in the comments below. And yeah, I'm JC from Eagle Eye Football. I'm out. Peace.
Questions to ask throughout a campaign with the confidence rising. I told JC, Nate and Rich that good times are coming, no need for deep diving. Van Cam's reactions, watch alongs to the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South stay flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.